Yes, good evening to everybody. Welcome to the Law of Insurance class, the tested class, the title, the indemnity and the Law of Insurance. In this class that I would like to deal the Law of Insurance, which is nothing but the contingent contract. Yes, now anyone can unmute and read what I posted on the screen.
Good evening, Contingent Contracts, legalserviceindia.com, Professor Dr. Mohammed Saheb Hussain.
Yes. So now, without wasting the time, let me go directly to the insurance contract versus contingent contract. Then what is contingent contract? In simple words, contingent contracts are the ones where the promisor perform his obligation only when certain conditions are met. The contract of insurance, the contract of indemnity and guarantee are some examples of the contingent contract. If a thing happens, then only it can be done. If the thing is not happen, then it cannot be done. So that was the actually say about the contingent contracts are concerned. So now, illustration, if you happen to see it, a contracts to pay B. A person contracts to pay to B rupees 20,000 if B's house is burnt. If the B's house is burnt, that is a condition. Then A ready to pay B 20,000. So whether the house is burnt or not, we cannot know it. It cannot be predictable. So such contracts are said to be the contingent contract. The Indian Contract Act considers contingent contract as valid. It enlists certain situation where such contract becomes enforceable. Depending upon the condition, whether it is enforceable or not enforceable, it will be decided depending upon the circumstances, how it can be. So based on that thing, it will be decided whether such a contract is a enforceable contract or not. So now let us see whether contract insurance are contingent contracts. When do they become enforceable? So generally in the life insurance contracts are mostly the contingent contracts, because if an untoward incident is going to happen when the insured property is damaged, lost or burnt, that will be indemnified by the insurer. So Section 31 of the Indian Contract Act defines contingent contracts as a contract to do or not to do something. If some event, that event means unpredictable event, collateral to such contract does or does not happen, either happen or does not happen, depending upon that factor it will be decided. For instance, when A agrees to pay B rupees 10,000, if A dies before C, the A should have to die before C, then only the A agrees to pay B 10,000 rupees. This would be considered a contingent contract. A contingent contract can be dependent upon the following events. So there are events are there when we can say the contingent contract is a valid contract. In certain events, we can say that the contingent contract are not feasible and void contracts also. So when the enforcement depends upon the happening of an event, if any happening of the event is there to whether happen or may not happen, at that instance, Section 32 says about the Indian Contract Act. When come to the matter of the Section 33, when performance depends upon the non-happening of an event, if a non-happening of an event would be there, then the performance of the contract would be dependent. Yes, that contracts also be said to be the contingent contract and they are valid contracts. When the event on which the contract is contingent is to be deemed impossible, say when it becomes impossible, then it is the future contract of a living person, that is Section 34 says. Such contracts as a valid contract or not, Section 34. Let us see it. When you see the Section 34, when the event on which the contract is contingent to be deemed impossible, let me see the illustration. Can you read the illustration? Is it visible to you?
Yes, sir. A agreed to B a sum of money if B marries C, C marries D. The meaning of the B, sir.
The marriage of
B. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The marriage of B to C must now be considered impossible. Although it is a possible that D may die and that C may afterwards marry B.
Yeah. See, sometimes when the things becomes impossible, it is a valid or invalid, depends upon the situation. Here, let you see that A agrees to pay B a sum of money. Okay. What is the condition he put it? If B marries C. If B marries C, A is ready to pay the money. Okay. C marries D, but automatically C married D. That means, B will marry the C? It is impossible. So when it becomes impossible, do you think that it is a valid contract? Yes?
No, sir.
It's no. The marriage of B to C must now be considered impossible. Although it is possible that D may die. Okay. If the D may die, again he can marry. And then C may afterwards marry B. If that is possible over there, then it can be valid. So otherwise, when it becomes impossible, we cannot force him to do so. Is it not?
Yes, sir.
Is it not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Because now they are saying admit. Earlier it was not there. Okay, no matter. I admitted.
Sir, good evening,
So
sir.
yes. Then let us see the another case law. Section. When the contracts are contingent on happening of a specified event within a specified time, they become void. How? When the contracts are contingent on happening of a specified event within a specified event, they become void. Section 35(1). Let us see what exactly Section 35(1) will say. Yeah. Here, 35(1), 35, the example, let us see that. A promised to pay B a sum of money if a certain ship returns within a year. Okay, well and good. That is the condition. The contracts may be enforced if the ship returns within the year, definitely, and becomes void if the ship is burned within the year. Suppose if the ship is burned within the year, that becomes impossible. Is it or not?
Yes, sir.
Is it or not? When it becomes
Yes, sir.
impossible, the contract is
Void.
void. Another example is says A agrees to pay B 1,000 rupees. Good. If B will marry A's daughter, if B marries A's daughter C, C was dead, then whom do he marry? At the time of the agreement is void because subject matter is not over there. Then to whom did he marry? In such a situations, the contingent contracts becomes void. So that's what I want to convey to you. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So, as per the section 36 of the ICA, that is the Indian Contract Act of 1872, agreements contingent on impossible event void. See, it is very clearly read. If any contingent becomes impossible, then it is void. Suppose if I sell a pen to you, and with the condition that if you write with the pen, you score A+ in all examinations. Is it true? Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
It is impossible. You are passing and failing depending upon your knowledge. Even though your handwriting is not that much good, doesn't matter. Because examiner will read it. Even you scribble down also, he knows what is the meaning and what is the content. If you miss any 1 or 2 letters also, doesn't matter. Because our mind fixed up in such a way, if the agreement, if the 2 E's are not there, then we can read also AG, EE is not there, EE is not there, MENT is there, then we can say it's the agreements. Because our mind frame is fixed already in our brain. So it will read even the letter is not also there. So a contingent agreement to do or not to do anything, if an impossible event happens, are void. Whether the impossibility of the event is known or to the parties to the agreement at the time when it's made. So possibility, not possibility should not be known at the time of the agreement. If you know the time of the agreement, then automatically it will be void. So a contingent contract is an agreement that states which action under certain conditions will result in a specific outcomes. Contract of insurance are contingent contracts because in a life insurance contract, the insurer pays a certain amount if the insured dies under certain conditions. Suppose the life insurance contract, the insured died with a certain diseases. If it is covered over there in the policy, then it will be paid. Sir, to whom will they pay, sir, if the insured is die? Yes. To whom the insurance company will pay if the insured is died?
Hires, sir, nominee or hires.
In the
Yes,
past,
sir.
there are nominees are there.
Yes, sir.
Then why do you say heirs? The nominee is there, sir. Generally, nominees are legal heirs.
Legal hires, sir.
Then first and foremost, you have to say nominee.
Yes, sir.
Either one or two or three, doesn't matter. Okay. The insurer is not called into an action until the event of the death of the insured happens. So, unless until the insured is died, then insurance will not be called on. Suppose the insured is not died in the stipulated time and the time maturity is there, whether he is going to get the money? Answer
yes,
is
sir.
yes.
Yes,
And
sir.
with
To
the
get
interest,
the
I believe.
policy holder, sir.
With the interest or whatever the bonus, whatever it may be that he will going to get it. The entire
Yes,
thing.
sir.
So that is a contingent contract. Insurance contracts are contingent contracts. But it is not a indemnified contracts. Life insurance, I am speaking about. So advantage of the contingent contracts is number one, it makes the trust between the parties. Number two, the parties can fix the negotiation before the performance of the contract. Yes, agreed. Three, it helps to reduce the risk of the parties because insurance always spread the risk to the other policy holders premium. The fourth, the performance of the contract can be cancelled on the happening or non-happening of certain events. Yes, if the condition is there. The other party enjoys the benefit if the contract comes into the favor. Definitely one party definitely will enjoy it. It can limit our losses that could happen if the contract fails to fulfill the conditions. Suppose the contract not fulfilling the conditions, at that instance, naturally you are not going to get it because the condition you did not fulfill it. Conditions where the contingent contract becomes void. What are the conditions where the contract becomes void? Now, let us see. If the event in which the happening on the contract is contingent becomes impossible, I already told you. If one want to marry this a particular girl, and then only he will get the money, but the particular girl, before he marry, already she is eloped with somebody else, or she died, or she got married, then at the time it is impossible. Then such a contract is void contract. The contract becomes void. Example, a contract with the B to buy his goods if the ship comes safely to the port. Good. A contract with the B to buy his goods. Whose goods? B's goods. If the ship comes safely to the port, means the goods are in the ship and the ship arrives harbor safely, but the ship sinks into the water, then it is becoming impossible. Then the contract is
Void.
Wide.
void.
Wide, sir.
So when the contract is contingent on the non-happening of an uncertain event, but the event occurs, the contract is void. They say non-happening would be there, but if it is happened, then it is also void. Example, a contract with B to buy his goods if the ship sinks into the water. Yes, if the ship, a contract with B to buy his goods if the ship sinks into the water, but the ship comes safely to the port, the contract is void. Suppose if the ship sinks over there, okay, whatever the goods he is having at the position that he would like to buy it, but the ship, I want to like the ship reached safely to the airport, to the harbor. At that instance, the contract is void. In the both the cases, it is a void because it is a contract is not fulfilled over there. And then I already told you that I did not say ship drowned. I did not say here. I said ship sinks. I said why I said so. I already told you earlier. But I want to know how much the memory power that you do have it. Quick. Anyone?
Oh,
You can say pass on because that is already in your hand. Anyone?
sir, drowned in the middle of the sea, sir. Drowned ante munagatam, sir. Sink means in the sea shore, sir. Maybe. Sir, pass on, sir.
See, I already told you at the time. Somebody is waiting in the lobby and he is not signed, but I told him, yes, join the meeting. Okay, new persons are joining the meeting. That's why it is not accepting. Okay, they joined it now. So I already told you the ship is inanimate. Man is animate. So inanimate things sinks. Animate things, living things, drones. I told you. Did you get my point now?
Yes, sir.
Very good. So ships is an inanimate thing. It doesn't have the life. Hence, you can use the word sinks into the water, but the ship comes safely to the port. The contract is void because the condition is not fulfilled over there. The contract is based on the conduct of this living person, but the person did the reverse of the expectation. Yes, that also there. Then automatically it will becomes. Now let us see the example. A contract with the B. Okay, what that he will pay him, say about the $5,000. If he marries with C, but C marries D, the contract is void because the she is no more there because she is the wife of somebody else. Okay, the probability would be there that D may die, then she becomes a widow, then he will marry to the A. That is the probability is there later part, but the time being it is a void contract. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So the contract is based on the happening of a certain event as a given time, but the event becomes impossible. Again, that also becomes void. A contract with B to buy his goods if the ships come safely to the port within 1 week. The time frame is given within 1 week. But the ship sinks into the water before 1 week. The contract is void because it is impossible. The contract is based on the non-happening of an uncertain event at a given time, but the event becomes impossible. Again, in vice versa also. Example, a contract with B to buy his goods if the ships did not come safely to the port within 1 week, but the ship comes within 1 week, the contract is void. Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
Whether the condition is fulfilled and the condition not fulfilled. So that is very important factor would be there. So now the difference between the contingent contract and the wagering agreements. How that? See, wagering agreements like a gambling. There is no interest. The interest only in the money. Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
now let us see the wagering agreement, how it would be, and a contingent contract. In wagering agreement, it is absolutely void. In contingent contract, it is a valid contract, provided, again I told you, if the things become impossible, it is a void. If the condition contrary to that one, then it is a void. So not enforceable by law. Wagering agreements are not enforceable by law, no, but enforceable by law. How it can be? Wagering agreement. Sir, gambling unnadi stake. In gambling, they put the stake. Suppose if you did not pay the amount, can you go to the court of law?
No, sir.
Court of law, can we go?
No, sir.
ఇద్దరు
No,
దొంగలు
sir.
ఉన్నారండి. ఇద్దరు దొంగలు ఏమన్నారు, ఒరే వాట్ ఎవర్ దట్ we looted the property, let me take 50-50. And they made the agreement also in the paper. And one did not fulfill it. Can you go to the court for the, sir, we made the agreement that whatever the property we looted over there, we will share the 50-50. Now, can we enforce it in the court of law?
They
No,
won't
sir.
go to court, sir.
Illegal things cannot be made in the court of law. In the same manner, the wagering agreements also you cannot made in the court of law. Suppose you made a bet that India wins or Sri Lanka wins, and they put it in writing. Later on that if you did not fulfill, can you go to the court for the fulfilling that condition?
No, sir. Betting, no.
Answer is bettings, gambling, it cannot be made enforceable. Even a domestic contract also not enforceable. Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So the future uncertain event is the key element of the wagering element. See, that is the future uncertain event is the key element there in the wagering. And here the future uncertain event is the collateral or the main purpose of the contract. It is very much very close or collateral to the contract. It is the thing. So wager literally means bet. Wager literally means bet, 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 where two parties have two different opinions. What are different opinions? Yes, that one party say we will win, another party say they will win. Then who will win? It will be uncertain. The winner or loser, yes, the winner may happy, and a loser, of course, in the both the cases when they go to the court, if the winner loser, they, the difference between the winner and loser in the court. I am speaking about the court. The winner goes to the house and cries. The loser cries in the court only. That's only the difference. Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
So it is related to the happening or not happening of the future event would be there in a contingent contract. But that is a bet, and hence it is only one side is there. It is not enforceable. The parties are not interested in the occurrence of the event. No, they are merely based on the money, except for the winning or losing, either money or for the namesake. Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then the parties here are the real interest in the occurrence or non-occurrence of the event. That whether the event is occurring, whether the event is not occurring, that is more important than the winner or loser over here. The parties are not interested in the occurrence. Yes, just we read it. The future event is the sole determining factor in the wager agreements. Yeah. The future event is only collateral in the contract. If it is happen over there, it will be there. If it is not happen there, it will be the white. But here, the future event is the sole determining factor in the wager agreement, because whether the winning is there, that is the way, okay. Whether losing is there, that is the loser. So now, what is the contingent contract according to the section 31 of the Indian Contract Act 1872? Can you read the Indian Contract Act 1872 in this way? Yes?
No, sir. After A act, in the act, A is the capital. Afterwards, T, comma, 1872.
What about the contract C?
C is the capital, sir.
Yes, it should be capital. This is also a capital. See, whenever you write, you should write in this fashion. Never the way that you write in that. This is the style of writing. So if you lose my class, you lose many things I told you. So the Indian Contract Act 1872, a contingent contract is a form of the contract to do or not to do something defined while making the contract. Yes. In the contract is there. If it returns, okay. If it doesn't returns, this is the situation. If some event contract to such a created contract does or does not happen. So in simple words, this is the type of contract where the promisor perform his obligations only when certain conditions is defined in the contract are met. If the conditions defined is met over there, then it is valid. If it not met over there, not valid. Example, a contract to pay C, say about the $500, if C house is burnt, okay, it is a contingent contract because the burning of the house is a condition. If the house is burning over there, then he is going to get it. Suppose the house is not burnt over there, he is not going to get it. He will not be able to pay if the house is safe, definitely. If the accident occurs over there, then he will get the compensation. If the accident did not occur over there, he will get the compensation, anything. Even the premium will be returned to him. Answer is? Answer is? Answer is? No one is giving the answer.
No, sir.
When the thing is not happen, in the motor vehicle, if it is damaged, okay, the insurance will pay it. Suppose if it is not damaged, do you think the insurance company will pay back the premium? Answer? No.
No, sir. No, sir.
But why you are taking that much time to say no? Yes. If a life insurance policy, the company pays a specific amount of the money if the insured person dies under the condition mentioned in the insurance document. The insurer is not liable to pay the money if the insured person is alive. The insurer is not liable to pay money if the insured person is alive. But if the maturity would be there, then you should be supposed to pay it. In the same manner, if the general insurance is there, if you met with an accident and a comprehensive insurance, and you will get all the first party, second party, and third party is going to get the compensation from the insurer. And suppose if there is no insurance at all, then who is going to pay? The insured. Of course, there is no insured. The owner of the vehicle should have to pay from his wallet. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Are contingent contract valid? It depends upon the situation. As long as the contract is fulfilling the essential of the contingent contract, the contract is valid. Suppose if it is not, it becomes impossible, then it becomes void. A contingent contract is valid or void depends upon the situations. The validation of or non-validation of the contingent contract depends upon the happening or non-happening of this uncertain event. But if the contract is based on a condition that is impossible to fulfill, the contract is void or ab initio. Suppose a person walks 100 miles per hour. Can a person walk 100 miles per hour?
Not possible,
sir.
sir.
Not possible at all. Hence, this contract is void contract. How long does a contingent contract last? Normally, the contingent contract lasts between the 30 to 60 days. If the time is specified in the contract, it can last up to that time. In a contingent contract, always specification is there. One logical example that I would like to give you. There are at least 3 kilos or 4 kilos laddus, sweets are there. And one fellow challenged it. If I don't eat the total 3 kilos of seeds, I give my wife to you. I give my wife. So that was the condition that he put it over there. So what is the condition? If I don't eat the 3 kilos of laddus, then I will give my wife. So that the other fellow thought that, okay, this fellow is not going to eat the 3 kilos laddus or sweets, then he is giving his wife to him. Is the interpretation is taken by the person? Yes? That fellow did not eat. Then what was the leftover there? And he gave to the wife. And that fellow thought that he is going to give the wife to him. Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So interpretation depends upon the word they are using over there. So this is also time factor would be there. If the time factor goes beyond that, it becomes void. Like if I crack the joke today, can you laugh tomorrow?
No, sir.
No, sir.
That means you did not understand me cracking the joke. But you understood at least after the 24 hours later. After 24 hours, if you laugh alone in the class or anywhere, what the people will think? This fellow is
Mad.
laughing alone.
He's mad.
Perhaps he came from the Eragada.
Yes, sir.
So that is
Mentally disturbed.
yes, that is the comes over there. But if the time is specified in the contract, it can last up to that time. If the time factor is very important, if it is there, okay. If it is not there, generally 30 to 60 days will be taken into consideration. Then how are contingent contracts enforced? The enforcement of the contingent contract totally depends upon the happening and non-happening of an uncertain event. So that is the core area, and where we can say whether happening or not happening, but it should be uncertain. Then only such contracts are valid contracts. But if when it becomes impossible, yes, give me the answer.
Repeat question, sir.
The contingent contract or contract, whether happening of certain event or not happening certain event. When such an event becomes impossible,
It is a void contract, sir.
it is a void contract. Impossible, I told you. A person walks 100 miles per hour. The condition is it possible?
Not possible.
No,
It
sir.
is
When not possible, when it is not possible, then such a contract is void contract. Contingent contract I am speaking about. Is it clear?
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We read so many. Still somebody is standing there. Huh? Still somebody is standing in the queue. I noticed now. Huh? Okay. So my point here clearly says over there. Contingent contract is always depend upon to do particular thing, not to do particular thing. Or any occurrence happens, any occurrence doesn't happen. Suppose such occurrence becomes impossible, then such contract is void. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. A conclusion. A contingent contract is used in our daily life to make our risk at least. The contingent contract depends upon the happening or non-happening of an uncertain event that needs to be fulfilled. Either happening should be fulfilled or non-happening should be fulfilled. But the happening becomes impossible, that contract is void. Or if the non-happening is becoming impossible, the contract is void. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If the condition is reversed from the expectations, the contract becomes void. If it goes contrary or reverse is happened over there, then contract becomes void. The contingent contract builds a trust between the parties. It is a trust between the parties, contingent contract. Yes, if it happens, he is going to get it. If it not happen, he is not going to get it. The many types of the contingent contracts are being used by the insurance companies so that they can earn profit and also help the people with the happening or not happening of an uncertain event. Because we cannot predict certain things is going to happen in our life. So one should be alert and try to make the contract, insurance for as much as you can if your pocket permits. The life insurance policies and contract of indemnity are example of the contingent contracts. These are all contingent contracts. The contract of indemnity. The life insurance policies and contract of indemnity are example of the contingent contracts. They are the example. What is the contingency here? If the fire burns, the fire did not burn. If the life is there, the life is not there. Depending upon that thing, we can make it out whether it is a contract or not, we can make it out. So this is the total things which will be in our study, we can make it out. And tomorrow class, we will, because today we discussed only the contingent contracts only. On earlier class, in earlier class we did the indemnity contracts, and this class that we did the contingent contract, and the tomorrow class that I am going to deal the, of course, tomorrow is 26th January, and I believe that there would not be any class, but there would be a mini webinar that I am going to conduct it. Then I put it to the WhatsApp group also. I don't know whether you have seen it or not. Have you seen it or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes? I put it in my WhatsApp group. Have you seen it? Not the question I asked, but nobody is giving the reply to my question.
Not seen,
Sir.
sir. Only
Not seen,
space
sir.
not mentioned.
Hmm?
Yes. Just
You did not see it.
yeah.
Yeah, now I will show you now. Is it visible?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
now
Yes, sir.
it's visible, sir.
Visible, sir.
Yes?
Yes.
Visible, sir.
Yes, this is visible. So tomorrow, the same link, you may join it, and it starts at 5:10 and ends by 6 o'clock in the evening. The morning that you will be in the respective places, you go for the flag. Do you know the difference between the Independence Day and Republic Day?
Yeah.
Yes, sir, we know, sir. Because
Yeah.
Independence Day
Republic,
comes
sir.
on the 15th August, sir. And Republic Day comes on the 26th January, sir. Okay, very good. What is the next difference?
No, sir. Our constitution is implemented from Republic Day.
Agreed. And we will liberate it from the Britishers on 15th August. Okay.
Yeah.
Next. Sir, the flag is different in Independence Day. The flag is different in the Republic Day.
No, sir.
Yeah.
Same flag, sir.
The flag is same, but folding is quite different.
There is a difference in flag hoisting. Don't say in the Republic Day flag hoisting. You unfurl the flag.
Unfurling.
You unfurl the flag. UNFURL. Unfurl the flag. Flag would be the up only. Just you can remove the knot. But in the Independence Day, from down you can take the flag to up. Are you following me?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
In the New Delhi, where the Independence Day will be celebrated, where the Republic Day will be celebrated.
Red Fort, sir. Red Fort is the Independence Day, sir.
Then what about the Republic Day? Sir, New Delhi, sir. Say,
Same place.
Person, sir.
Rajpath, North Block, South Block, Rajpath, from there to India Gate.
Rajput, sir.
Rajpath,
Okay.
King's Way.
UT, but
King's Raj, Path way, Rajpath. Path or Path, Rajpath. Path means a way, actually. Rajpath to the India Gate, a parade would be there by the three defense forces. It will be conducted over there. And the role of the president is more in the Republic Day. The role of the Prime Minister is more in the Independence Day.
sir, flag difference look, sir, చెప్పండి సార్.
ఏంటండి?
Flag difference చెప్పారు కదా.
We hoist the flag in the Independence Day.
Flag is safe.
Okay.
We hoist, HOIST, hoist the flag in the Independence Day. We take for the flag from the down to up and unfold it. And the knot will remove it. But in the Republic Day, the flag is up. Yes, we cannot remove it. Are you following me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Unfold. And only Professor Hussain students know the difference. Challenge it is here. It's an open challenge to anybody. You can ask anyone of your friends who did not hear my lecture. And that's why I told you, if you miss my class, you miss many things. Okay, tomorrow that I'm also only the facilitator there, and I anchor it tomorrow with my Cisco WebEx link. And these are the people, those who are Rega Surya Rao. Everybody knows him because he wrote so many books. Gogi has published him, and he's a very good man, but very pious man, not after the money. The next gentleman, he is from the Kandikatla Sudhakar, and he's a retired principal from the university. He's also very gem in the speaking and writing. And still he is working hard, and like me, or more than that also. The next other person also, you could hear his lot of constitutional lectures would be there in the YouTube. And he's Jetting Galosha, associate professor and the founder of the Telangana University. Then the last, I put it over there, he's a man of international lawyer. He's an advocate, solicitor. He did his LLM from Symbiosis in India, and LLM from the UK, and did it from the LLM from the Australia. Then again he did the LLM from the USA. Now he's a practicing lawyer there in the New York. Of course, he's having the law firms in the other places also. He is Kaveti Srinivas Rao. If you type his name in any Google search engine, you will know about him. So these are the people, those who are going to speak. I give only 5 minutes. It's a mini. It is not a lengthy lecture. It is a commemorate what is the Republic Day and what is the Independence Day. And yes. ఏంటండి ఏం మాట్లాడుతున్నారు మన యువర్ పర్సనల్ టాక్ ఆర్ యు ఆర్ స్పీకింగ్ టు మీ 118. Okay, that is a Dr. Saheb. The Dr. Saheb is speaking over there. It's a 111.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Dr. Saheb, I'm taking the online classes. You are calling me. That's why, to a notion that I put it on so that you could know that I am in the online class. Yes, Pushpalata now joined. I admitted.
Sir, tomorrow class is 5:10 a.m. p.m. to 6 p.m.
5:10 p.m. to 6 o'clock. That's all. There is no other class. Only this class, Independence Day, the Republic Day class only. Yes, that's why you want to speak anything, because I could say that. But you are speaking to, I believe you are patient, it seems. Okay, with this I will wind up my class. Tomorrow you can Republic Day, Ganatantra Dinam, then you can enjoy it and you can do it and read it
Thank you,
and
sir.
make it out. Thank you very much for your patience listening. Now I'm closing down my end of the meeting and end of the